A few years ago, I published a video called "Do Not Go Into the White Light, It's a Reincarnation Soul Trap," which, as of the making of this video, has over 418,000 views. Despite some of the intense backlash, the overall response has been positive. Although many of my subscribers understand this topic well, I decided it was time to do a follow-up video in order to clarify two specific points that I see repeatedly in the comments section. I will also provide an update on the Soul Trap Matrix and finish up by sharing a different method that one can use to bypass the false tunnel of light and go directly into the true light source of God. For this reason, I recommend that you watch this video until the end, then rewatch the first 5-minute video with this new information in mind. You can find the link to that video in the description. So to begin, the first misunderstanding is the belief that people are being told to turn away from the false light and to simply stay in the dark void forever. This is false. To clarify, when you see the false light and all the emotional manipulation that comes with it, do not allow yourself to be drawn or pulled into it. Instead, focus your attention on the dark void around you. Once you do that with complete confidence, you intend and demand to be shown the real exits that lead directly to the true God source of all creation. Shortly after this intention is made, you will start to see new exits appear on the grid matrix that look like holes or doorways of light. These true lights won't try to deceive or manipulate you. They will simply present themselves to you as requested. At this point, your next step is to pick an exit and move through it in order to leave the soul trap behind. Once you're free, you can ask to merge with the ultimate true source of your creation, and you will be shown the way into the true light. Once you are merged with true source, you will still be retaining your individualized consciousness, which allows you to decide for yourself if you want to reincarnate on 3D Earth or not. However, this time, as a truly liberated soul, you will make that choice without the lies, deception, or manipulation of any kind. Before moving on to the next point, I do want to clarify that when you make your commands to the universe, always emphasize that you want the true exits for the true light or the true light of God's source creation, etc. Be very specific and very clear with your intentions. The second point I want to address is the argument that because some people who have near-death experiences are sent back or told to go back, often with a mission or a positive message, that this is somehow proof that the tunnel of light is not part of the dark. Unfortunately, this is a classic false light tactic used by the controllers. The dark knows that many ancient cultures recorded and passed on knowledge to the initiated on how to use the weaknesses in the matrix to escape the cycle of forced reincarnation. The controllers knew this information and other future discoveries would eventually become more widely known to the masses, so they started sending some people back as a strategic move in the spiritual war. In essence, by sending some people back with a specific mission, purpose, or message, they know most of these individuals will openly share with others and eagerly speak about their supposed life-changing experience with a tunnel of light. In doing so, they directly or indirectly promote and encourage others to trust the false light and to see it as something you want to go into when you pass over. This strategic move achieves two things. One is that the controllers can use these individuals as propaganda tools to reduce resistance in the mass consciousness towards the false light, and in doing so, make it easier for them to recycle more souls when their current physical incarnation comes to an end. The second benefit is that most of these individuals who are sent back will never wake up to the deception or realize how they are being used, and will therefore eagerly and willingly go into the false tunnel of light when their life does come to an end. For this reason, the controllers never lose anything by sending these souls back. They merely delay their recycling momentarily. After all, using these people to further their dark agenda by countering any information that exposes their soul trap matrix is well worth the extra time, which is minuscule in their grand scheme of things. With that being said, what is the current status of this reincarnation soul trap? Well, the answer is that currently the old system has gotten weaker and weaker as more people have discovered how to escape from it. As a result, the controllers have intensified their push to cut or limit your natural connection to God's source through the use of toxins, medications, and modified foods that damage, downgrade, and alter your activating DNA strands, and also keep your pineal gland fully calcified. Also, their push to merge humans with artificial intelligence is ultimately aimed at tying your consciousness within a new artificial matrix that is currently being built and expanded. Those individuals who choose to physically blend, merge, or interface with machines will sacrifice their true natural ascension in favor of an artificial world that will have a tighter grip and control over your consciousness and make it virtually impossible to escape. This AI transhumanism agenda also has a major role in the planned artificial 5D ascension that is designed to trap as many awakening souls into a false fifth dimensional matrix. But I will discuss this artificial ascension in a future video. So what can you do as an individual? The first thing is to remember the information mentioned in this update and to speak to your higher self and tell it to remember what to do if you experience a physical death. This allows your soul to use this information as a roadmap that leads to your spiritual freedom, which the dark forces can never take away from you. The second thing is to avoid being entrapped in the new AI matrix by paying attention and being more aware of how they are introducing it into society and making it seem like there's no choice in the matter. Do not fall for this. There may come a time soon when each one of us will have to decide to either become one with AI or reject it in favor of keeping our divine connection to God's source. Maintaining this connection is very important because it's the key to using another method that connects you and ultimately sends you directly into the true light. This technique requires some work to master, but it can be done if you're willing to do the work. This involves learning how to connect and expand the God spark within you, which sometimes is symbolically described or depicted as a sacred flame that resides in the heart center. By learning how to work with your inner light, you will be able to use it as a gateway that instantly transports your soul upon physical death directly to true God source. So here is what you need to do. Start by getting yourself in a comfortable position. Laying down is best, but sitting is fine. Take 3 deep breaths. Once you're relaxed, close your eyes and ask your higher self to remove any artificial overlays or implants that have been placed in your physical and energetic fields. If you wish, you can also request that you be protected during this entire process. Proceed by taking another deep breath, and with your mind's eye, focus on your heart center. Call on your God spark to show itself. You may see it as a small light, spark, flame, or maybe something else. Once you see it, take a few moments to recognize that you are seeing an aspect of Source that is within you, but it is also a higher version of you. When you're comfortable, start sending love to your God spark. Acknowledge it by speaking to it in your mind and thanking it for being there with you. Wait to see if you feel anything in response. If you do, simply accept the energy as it moves through your body and energetic fields. Some people may get emotional during this process, so take your time if you need it. When you're ready, focus on your spark and expand it slowly. At first, expand it so that the top reaches your third eye and the lower part covers your belly button. As you expand your inner light, say to yourself, I am love, I am free, I am sovereign, I am true God source, or say something similar that you feel comfortable with. Once you're expanded, stay there for a bit. Then, when you're ready, continue to expand your light so that it covers your entire body or slightly beyond it. If you're not able to expand that far during your first try, that's fine. Don't worry, don't force it. Over time, you will be able to expand your inner light all the way. Once your light is fully expanded, feel your light flowing in and out and through your body. Feel it as you merge and become one with your God self. During this time, speak to it, ask questions, ask for guidance, healing, and so on. In relation to the topic of this video, this is when you instruct and make the conscious agreement for your inner light to instantly transport you back to true source when you experience a physical death. By doing this, your inner light becomes a gateway that takes you back to source and bypasses the false light matrix altogether. After you're done interacting with your inner spark, slowly start to bring your light back to your heart center. Give thanks and remain quiet for a while. Allow time for integration and grounding if necessary. Repeat this process at least once a week to continue building and strengthening your connection to your inner God self. Over time, you will be able to connect without having to do or go through the structured process I just gave you. With that being said, I do want to let you know that it's not uncommon for your inner light to take things into a completely different direction or to use a different method once you start to make contact with it. So if your God light decides to do something completely different with you, then don't resist it by insisting on doing things the way I just outlined. Another point worth stating here is that what makes this technique difficult for many is that your light will trigger the release of unresolved fears, baggage, and trauma from your physical, emotional, and energetic bodies. As these issues come to the surface, you will need to deal with them so that they can be released. This can be scary, draining, and exhausting for many people, especially if you're not willing or ready to do the inner work. If that's the case with you, then you can always use the original way I discussed for escaping the soul trap. However, if you're able to do the hard work, not only will you be able to free yourself through your own inner light, but it will also accelerate your ascension process and activate spiritual gifts that are waiting to come online to assist you in your journey. For this reason, despite what the critics say, none of the information I shared in these videos is fear-based or designed to spread fear. In fact, it's quite empowering and liberating knowing you have the power to avoid being a victim of the false light once this life is over. Part of the awakening process is learning how to take your power back, and becoming a truly sovereign soul is part of that process. After all, in the end, when your time comes, whatever choice you make should be truly yours and only yours to make. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and share. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to get notified of future videos.